Yeah, you and me both. Wait, you see that? What the?
For years, whispers have spread about a creature hiding in the world's most remote forests. Some call it Bigfoot, others know it as Sasquatch or the wood booger. Today, we're showing footage you won't see anywhere else. Moments captured on trail cams, dash cams, and even from the air. Some are brief, some are unsettling, but all hint at a presence moving quietly through the shadows, watching and sometimes revealing itself. Watch closely, because what you're about to see is very real. The clip comes from a couple driving through the deep woods of Ohio's Hocking Hills in the summer of 2023. They didn't share their names, mostly because they know what people say about encounters like this, but the footage they captured still speaks for itself. They were moving along a quiet, tree-lined back road when a massive, dark shape stepped out from the forest. And this is where things get strange. The figure was clearly upright, broad-shouldered, and moving with a slow, deliberate weight that didn't feel like any animal they knew. In the sweep of their headlights, it crossed directly in front of the car. But then this happened. It paused, turned, and faced them. Take a look. For a few seconds, everything went silent, as if the night itself shifted around them. And without warning, the creature slipped into the trees again, its outline swallowed by the darkness like it was never there at all. This next video comes from two friends who were out in the woods trying to spot wildlife before the sun went down. They weren't expecting anything unusual, just a quiet drive through the forest to clear their heads. But then this happened.
Whoa.
At first, it almost looked like a person, but the longer they watched, the more that explanation slipped away. The shape walked with a slow, heavy stride, its posture tall and deliberate, almost as if it didn't care it was being seen. Some believe they caught a rare glimpse of Bigfoot simply moving through its territory. But what do you think? This next clip comes from the Saltville region of Virginia, deep in the Appalachian Mountains, a place where locals still whisper about something they call the Beast of Gum Hill. Some know it as the wood booger, a towering, Bigfoot-like figure said to move through the forests without a sound. And on this day, a group of friends riding their quads through the waterways ended up turning back for a reason they still can't shake. Watch this. The rider later estimated it stood close to 7 feet tall, and for a few long seconds, they stared at the figure, and the figure seemed to stare back. Then, without making a sound, it slipped behind the brush and vanished, leaving nothing but the sound of running water and their engines idling in the silence. Rumors in Saltville say the wood booger tends to appear near waterways, especially when people wander deeper than they should. Some believe the creature watches travelers to warn them away. Others say it guards certain paths in the hills, choosing when to reveal itself, until someone else captures what they saw out there in those hills. This remains a mystery. The next clip comes from a guy who still isn't sure what he captured that night. All he knows is that the moment he played the footage back, something about it shook him more than he expected. Have a look.
Let me see if I can flip this around. That's the exact motherfucking spot now. That's my backyard. I'm zooming in a little piece. This is the exact spot that I just.
After the clip went online, people began dissecting every pixel. Some believe it's nothing more than a reflection mixed with smoke. Others swear the outline is too defined, too controlled, and insist it looks exactly like a Bigfoot, crouched in the shadows. So now the question lingers in the comments beneath his post. Was it a trick of the environment or something else standing there in the dark? I'll leave you to be the judge. This next footage comes from Morgan County, Alabama, where a group of friends were out on a boat late in the evening, drifting along the dark water and enjoying the quiet. Everything felt calm, until they heard someone hollering from the tree line. Watch this.
Damn, I hope my phone picks up this screaming.
That sounds like what Bigfoot would sound like.
Oh God, dude, I'm not lying to you, bro. This is Bigfoot, dude.
Me out, dude. I gotta get the fuck out
I told you that.
Look, keep going straight. See, there's no way to go that way.
I'm going as far as I can.
Oh, dude, you want me to paddle some?
No, bro.
He's like, dude, my adrenaline's pumping.
It's not going fast. We need two big paddles. Yeah, there's
Is there another paddle under there?
There's another paddle in here. I'll paddle.
She ain't gonna be able to get it out with him
I
up
got it,
there.
I got it.
She ain't gonna be able to get it out with him up there.
Oh, shit.
And we ain't gonna paddle no faster, I promise you that. Oh, it sounded like you had a lick there. Y'all, it's about to go, bro. We're about to get out.
The friends stopped their boat, listening closely, and somehow the sound felt too deep, too heavy, too strained to belong to any typical wildlife in the area. Once the clip made its way online, people immediately jumped into the comments. Some insisted it had to be a black bear, but others pushed back, pointing out something important. Morgan County isn't even close to the black bear's known range. In fact, the species is hundreds of miles away from that area. A few people believe the group may have heard one of the region's long-whispered cryptids. Others bet it was just an animal with an odd call echoing across the water. But for some reason, the recording doesn't sit neatly in either category. So what was that? And were the friends right to trust their instincts? This next clip comes from deep in the Appalachian backcountry, where a lone trail camera quietly recorded the forest at night. Most of the time, it caught nothing but deer, raccoons, and the usual nighttime wanderers. But one night, this was what the camera caught. Watch closely. People familiar with Appalachian folklore point out how often reports in this region describe the same features. A tall, broad creature with long arms, moving silently through the trees. Some believe Bigfoot is drawn to quieter mountain corridors like this, using deep ridges and old logging paths to stay hidden. Others argue that trail cams often distort size and distance, creating illusions that seem far stranger than they really are. Whether this is another piece of Appalachian legend or an unidentified creature moving through the woods, no one can say for sure. This next clip comes from a trail camera set deep in the forest. One night, a figure emerges, tall, broad, unmistakably upright, and close beside her, a smaller figure follows, almost like a child. Speculation immediately followed, saying she looked hurt. Some wonder if she had encountered another of her kind, a battle over territory perhaps. Others suggest it could have been an accident, a fall, a hidden trap, or even humans brushing too close to her domain. No one can say what could harm a creature so rarely seen, or what the forest witnessed before this moment. And until more evidence surfaces, this remains a mystery. This next clip comes from an oil field worker checking equipment along a quiet roadside. He didn't notice anything unusual at the time. The footage was captured on a dash cam, and it wasn't until later that day that he realized what had been watching him.
A lot of time looking at information that perhaps we wouldn't have been exposed to otherwise. I've read about something called the negativity bias. So how does that affect how we consume information in an online era?
Yeah, Gene made a really good point. This is the perfect storm for the spread of misinformation, because we have social media now, but it also plays to our cognitive biases, and we are at a war where the world completely changes over the course of an hour. Because this is something that's going to unfold. It's been unfolding for months. It's going to continue to unfold for months.
The camera catches it for just a few seconds, but it's enough to raise questions about what exactly lingers in these woods. The location adds another layer of intrigue. This footage was shot about 30 miles east of Banff Park's boundary near Nordegg, Alberta. Some researchers immediately drew connections to another video, recorded in December 2019, by a man named David Beaver, showing a Bigfoot holding a young one roughly 25 to 30 miles west. Many believe it could be the same family, moving toward lower elevations for reasons unknown. And here's the unsettling part. In this latest clip, the figure appears to be holding something close in its arms, echoing the earlier sighting. Whether it's the same family, a lone wanderer, or something else entirely, no one can say. From the forests of Alberta, our focus now shifts to a different kind of encounter. One caught on a police dashcam on November 22nd, 2025. But it's not just one clip. Multiple reports have surfaced. Locals claimed they had seen the creature attempting to grab a sheep. Hikers spotted it in broad daylight, and campers swore they felt its presence creeping just beyond their tents.
We're copy, Unit 32 out of service at 46. Oh, jeez. Dispatch 32, I just had a large unknown subject on the shoulder, northbound County Road 12 near mile marker 11. It's gone into the brush, no contact, still rolling.
Oh my God, that's him. It's huge. 9 feet easy. Jesus, it's looking right at me. I gotta stay quiet.
Good. I'm freezing out here.
Wait till morning, it'll be worse.
Don't remind me.
No one can explain how it appears in so many places, seemingly aware of those around it, yet remaining almost impossible to approach or capture clearly. On January 18th, a family decided to spend some quiet time in the woods, hoping for a simple day away from the usual routines. Everything seemed normal, the kind of calm that invites laughter and easy conversation. But then this happened. Take a look.
You like your little car, buddy? Come on, let's get inside, buddy.
Somehow the brief glimpse felt deliberate, almost as if it had been watching them the entire time. In this next clip, a man was walking along a quiet stretch of road surrounded by dense trees that stretched into shadow. Everything seemed ordinary, until something moved just beyond the tree line. Watch this. A dark figure peeked through the branches, partially hidden, yet unmistakably upright. After the clip circulated online, the debate began. Some argued it must have been a bear. Others suggested an escaped orangutan, though few could explain how one would end up here. But many viewers remain convinced it's Bigfoot, but I'll leave you to be the judge. Now, this next clip comes from a tourist exploring a remote forested area, camera in hand, hoping to capture the quiet beauty of nature. But what appeared on film was far from ordinary. The creature moved slowly, unevenly, clearly struggling with something until this happened. Somehow, the sight of a creature so large and powerful in such a vulnerable state feels unsettling to some, as if the forest itself is holding its breath. This next clip comes from a trail camera deep in Oregon's Umatilla National Forest, a place where the trees grow thick and the shadows linger long after the sun has set. Some researchers believe what was captured here could be the first ever evidence of coordinated Sasquatch family communication. Watch this. The footage begins with a large adult Sasquatch stepping from the dense tree line, a smaller juvenile close behind. Then, the adult pauses and delivers 3 powerful, deliberate knocks on a thick pine tree. The sound echoes through the still forest, carrying further than anyone might expect. Moments later, a ridge several hundred yards away answers. A series of sharp, precise clacks, clearly rocks striking one another. The adult on camera listens intently, then responds with 2 more knocks. This call and response continues for over a minute, forming a distinct, almost rhythmic dialogue. And then, a second group emerges from the opposite tree line, also an adult accompanied by a juvenile. The 2 families converge cautiously in the clearing, the younger figures circling one another shyly before all 4 disappear back into the forest, leaving only the faint echo of their interaction behind. Some believe this is nothing short of groundbreaking, evidence of cross-family communication, planning, perhaps even a social structure previously unimaginable. Others remain skeptical, suggesting coincidence or misinterpreted sounds. But what do you think? The following video comes from a hunter working just northeast of Banff National Park, Alberta, tracking elk outside the park boundary. The man had been moving slowly and quietly through the forest, hoping for a legal bull, when something unusual caught his eye. At first, he thought it was a moose, a dark shape resting among the trees. But then, as he drew closer, he noticed an animal rib cage hanging nearby, stripped clean of flesh. And the figure itself didn't resemble any bear or moose he had ever seen. This next clip comes from a trail camera placed deep in the forest, far from any roads or human activity. In the video, a tall, dark creature emerges from the shadows, moving slowly and deliberately. Some speculate it's part of a larger family, quietly patrolling its territory. Others wonder if it's a solitary wanderer, moving through these woods for reasons unknown. Here's another compilation, pulled together from various sightings, where people caught these creatures either doing something unusual or simply walking through the forest, minding their own business. Some believe the behavior caught on camera, the pausing, the subtle gestures, the screams, hints at social structures or even communication methods we don't yet understand. Now we move to South Alabama, where the presence of these creatures seems far closer to human activity. Some construction workers were going about their day, clearing land and operating machinery, when something terrifying happened.
Tell you what, man, once this road's done, I'm taking vacation.
Yeah, you and me both. Wait, you see that? What the?
Many believe the creature was defending its territory, irritated by the intrusion into its domain, and that its sudden approach was meant as a warning, or perhaps something more aggressive. Some locals argue that Bigfoot may aggressively protect areas it considers its own, especially when humans encroach on nesting or feeding grounds. Others suggest it could have been a solitary wanderer, provoked by curiosity rather than anger, testing its boundaries against human activity. But until more encounters are documented in this area, this remains a mystery. In the dense, untamed canopy of the Amazon, a group of tourists, taking a helicopter tour over the vast jungle, captured something that has been whispered about for generations.
Oh my god, do you see that?
Keep filming, keep filming.
Another person? Hey, look at the shoulders.
Looking at us.
Holy.
Stay on it, stay on it.
That thing's massive.
It's not, did you get it?
Yeah, I got it.
Oh my god.
Somehow, even from the air, the presence feels commanding, a reminder that this is a being rarely glimpsed, yet profoundly real to those who have studied the stories. For many, the intrigue comes not just from seeing it, but from finally witnessing something so long spoken of in legends and rumors. This next video captures a rare and fleeting sight. A juvenile Bigfoot moving quickly through the underbrush, darting between trees with an urgency that's both captivating and unsettling. Somehow the energy feels charged with tension, as if it's reacting to something unseen. Some speculate it might be running toward its mother, seeking safety and familiar protection. Others wonder if it was fleeing a threat, perhaps a larger creature or even human intrusion into its territory. Local legends often describe juveniles staying close to adults, learning the forest's hidden paths, yet rarely venturing into open spaces. This brief glimpse, however, shows one alone, moving with both caution and determination, leaving viewers questioning what prompted this sudden dash. In this next clip, captured in July 2025 in northern Wisconsin, a man named Mark found himself closer to the unknown than he ever intended. He had been exploring a remote stretch of forest when something unexpected appeared on camera and almost cost him more than just a scare.
Where'd it go? Oh, there. Look at that. What the heck is that?
The encounter escalates quickly enough that he had to back away almost immediately, narrowly avoiding a close encounter that could have turned dangerous. Some suggest the creature was defending its territory, irritated by an intruder in its domain. Others believe it could have been curious rather than hostile, investigating the unexpected human presence before retreating. Local folklore adds another layer, suggesting that some of these creatures patrol their forest corridors methodically, aware of every movement within their space. But until more encounters are recorded in the same area, this remains a mystery.